All right, guys, highlight for Thursday, the day after the Fed. You got to know that the Fed, as reports come out, talked about being a little bit more dovish, and yet you'd think the markets would rally, and they priced in a 20% or a 10 or 12% chance at the next meeting in March to actually cut, and yet the markets are down. They gap open lower today, and they rally, and then they come back. And the point I'm trying to make to everyone is that, there are drivers that have some pressure on this market and they're worried about deflation. So follow that a little bit more. Things surface as drivers in and out. They jump in and out of the car in the driver's seat. But here on the replay, I want to show you where the market gets long up bar, down bar. And so where do you sell it? People want to sell it in here. You're too early, and you have to then take all this heat. And it's called getting short in the hole. And you're trying to play a breakout, but you got to look at the rubber band being stretched. When it comes back in here, you're looking for potentially predicting the top of a rally. And this is a rally. You're looking for not selling always, but buying, and it can't go up. Now let me play it and listen to the male voice that comes in, and the market can't go up. It's rotating up.
6 3/4.
She's trying to sell 6 3/4. Banging back and forth. Goes down. Now people might get short here. And they're like, well, if you see this, you're short in the hole. Now listen.
7 1/4.
Right there. 7 1/4. So let me pause it. You see the green imbalance, and you heard the male voice, which is buying. And when buying comes in, what should price do? Go up in any product. If it doesn't, very often could be the win moment if you're bearish and looking to get short. And this is the weakness of almost every trader, the fire of ready, aim, fire. Now, I didn't invent this concept. I've been in this business 20 years, 25 if you include my floor experience. And I was taught this the right way, the first way. So I didn't invent this. Guys that have tremendous credibility in this business, like a Brett Steenbarger, has a great blog and Twitter feed and following, and I'll put it in the description of this YouTube video, writes a blog about it. Because if you're not looking, I've used the metaphor. You can watch YouTube videos I've done about punch a guy in the face and he doesn't flinch. I'm going to run the other way. This is buying, punching the market in the face, and it can't go up. And you're looking to sell it because you're bearish. Could be a lot of different reasons why you're bearish. But the whole point is qualifying your opinion. Your opinion, it's important to get a good opinion and a more likely opinion. It's going to go up. There are good opinions versus bad opinions and ways to get opinions. But you've got to find that overlap. That's where your skill is going to be. So if I'm ever asked, what's your edge, Anthony? It can't always be one thing. You usually got to have a couple things. Can't be 10 things, but it might be 2 or 3 things. The only time your edge is one thing is if you know how to trade news and news comes out and you jump on it and you get it pretty quick and it's a surprise and it's an outlier. For instance, if there's news that came out and go to tape of Trump doing something that was blatantly illegal. Well, whatever. You know what to do with that. You know what the market would do. Well, then that's an edge for one thing. But going back to this, let's play it out.
Quarterly revenue at 1.12.
And you could see the buying at 57 1/4. And I had said in the room, hey, buying's coming up. Could be the top of this move. And we could rotate back down and continue to move out of this consolidation box. And that's essentially what happened. Now, let me pause it again. You see the opposite happen on the way up where you had selling in here and it can't go down, can't go down. Be careful short because this is likely. Selling can't go down or buying and can't go up. Think opposite. And that's where your edge is. You don't always want to fight the herd because when you're wrong, you get trampled. But that is where opportunities are when most other people are stuck long at the high, the housing bubble. Most people own homes in 2007 because they just lent money to anybody who wanted to apply. So they filled the inventory in with buyers. Pop. The NASDAQ bubble, the tech bubble in the late 90s. Everybody and their cousin said, I'm trading some stocks. You know what? You know what they were doing? Just buying. Everything you bought went up. Yeah, they didn't have a strategy. They had a just buy it strategy. But when, boom, everybody gets stuck long. NASDAQ goes from 1,000 to 5,000 back to 1,000. That was at 99, 2000, 2001 period. So again, know what other people's emotions might be, not just your own. Because people suck at doing whatever it is you do when you're more emotional. You generally stink at it. You got to be calm in a storm. You have to slow down your breathing at some point to be able to pitch in front of millions of people in Game 7 of the World Series. Because if you can't do that, you'll just throw up and be paralyzed. I don't know how to pitch. I couldn't throw the ball over the plate with that kind of pressure. You got to slow yourself down and let things like tools that make sense, correlations and order flow, when used the right way, to slow you down. You don't always have to do breathing exercises while touching the tips of your finger. I had some guy tell me, do breathing exercises, touch the tip of my finger, it really slows me down. I said, well, you know anything about watching another market like the NASDAQ when Apple gets reported and strong earnings and the NASDAQ rallies and the ES could sometimes follow? And he goes, what are earnings? So again, it's important to slow yourself down and do things to keep yourself calm. But before that, you got to know what you're doing.